There are many different strategies and tactics that you can use to make sure that your weight loss journey is a success. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the strategy of assessments, how to utilize them, how to interpret them, and how often you should be doing them. Now, there's a saying that says, what gets assessed gets improved. And it's so true. Because assessment are a great tool to utilize because they hold you accountable. They make sure you're going in the right direction because each time you assess yourself, you can see if you've improved or not. And if you've improved, you can continue doing what you're doing. And if you haven't, it gives you an opportunity to make the right adjustments to make sure you improve the next time you assess. And when you assess, it's constantly on your mind. And if it's on your mind, you can make the right decisions to make sure you're moving in the right direction. But when it comes to weight loss, the most convenient and common assessment that we use is the bathroom scale. Now, this is very dodgy to say the least, because we get attached to the number. You see, the bathroom scale is very unreliable. The bathroom scale one day can show you that you've lost 10 pounds, and the next hour can show that you gained 5 pounds. Because the bathroom scale doesn't weigh your fat alone. It weighs lots of many different things. It weighs you as a human being as a whole. And it doesn't create the full picture. So if you're using the bathroom scale, I always recommend that you couple it with measuring yourself, making sure that you're taking body measurements or checking how your clothes fitting you. Because, like I said, if you've lost weight, you will feel motivated, you will feel inspired to continue to do the hard work. But if you haven't lost weight, there are two responses that I see most people do. The first one is to just screw everything. They're like, why should I do all the hard work? I'm not getting the results I want. The second response is to go crazy. Is to, for example, to completely starve yourself. To train every single day, 5 hours a day. This also isn't a healthy response. You've got to remember, you've got to understand that the assessment is just a tool. Now, the best things to assess, in my personal opinion, is your behavioral goal, not your outcome goal. Now, I want to quickly run through this. For those of you that don't know the difference between the two goals that I just mentioned. An outcome goal is something that we have no direct influence on. For example, your weight. I mean, if you jumped on a weighing scale and screamed at the scale to drop 20 pounds, what's the chance of you losing weight? What's the chance of you dropping 20 pounds? Not very much. Well, unless you stay on the scale and don't eat for 6 months, then you might drop 20 pounds. But otherwise, we don't have a direct influence on you losing 20 pounds or not. On the other hand, the behavioral goal is something that we have a direct impact on. For example, is adding a portion of vegetables with every single meal that you have. Having 3 workout sessions a week. These are things that we can have an influence on. So if you're assessing yourself, assess your behavioral goals. Assess, am I having a vegetable with every single a meal that I have? Am I training 3 times a week? And if I'm not, how can I make it better? How can I make sure that the next time I assess myself in a week or in a month, that I actually did what I said I'm going to do? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not telling you to ignore your outcome goals, because at the end of the day, you do want to lose weight and you do want to see those numbers go down, and you will see those numbers go down if you stay consistent. But you won't see the numbers go down consistently. And you've got to understand and believe and know that as long as you're doing your behavioral goals and you're working on them and improving them, your outcome goal will come through to fruition. Now, the question is, how often do we need to be assessing yourself? And this varies from person to person, from character to character. Because some people, if they jump on the scale and they see that the scale isn't improving or isn't going the way they would like to be, they can use that as motivation to work better, to work stronger, to work harder, to be more consistent. But there are others, if they weigh themselves every single day, they can get frustrated, get disappointed, demotivated. So this is something that you have to think about for yourself. Are you the type of person that by seeing your progress or lack of progress will help you stay on track, will give you the accountability that you need daily? If that is the case, then by all means you should be jumping on the bathroom scale every single day, measuring yourself every single day. But if you're the type of person that's going to get frustrated by the lack of results, by the lack of movement or how slow it's going on, then you should not be weighing yourself. And I would recommend that you weigh yourself once every single week and measure yourself once every single month. But you've got to remember, you've got to understand that no matter what the results come through, it doesn't mean you need to quit. And it doesn't mean you need to do unhealthy things in order to bring on the results quicker. Because at the end of the day, anything worth having is going to take time. And you need to be able to practice patience. Because the moment you lose patience is the moment that everything is going to go to hell. Because what's going to happen is that you're going to find something that's promising you quick, crazy results. And you're going to give it a try. And it might work for some time. But eventually you're going to be back to square one. So even if it does take you a year or 2 years to get the body that you want to have, understand that 2 years of your life is not such a bad investment to have the rest of your life to live to your full potential.